right, good day everybody from Rebellion Ranch. Gonna shoot a little bit of video today on the topic of why we actually rotate. Not so much when or anything like that, but why we rotate. So here we go. All right, so like many things, when to rotate is relative to the current conditions, but as I said, we're gonna focus more on exactly why we rotate instead of the when. Parasites are the number one reason that we need to rotate small animals. Barber pole worm, as everybody that's raised goats is familiar, is one of our number one enemies. So it's my personal opinion anyway that we don't, when we're in the warmer seasons, unless like, for instance, we're going to be feeding hay here shortly, even then I would rotate. But typically the standard would be every 120 hours or 5 days max, we rotate onto fresh ground. Some people are going to tell you to allow up to 7 days, and most of what that's based on is the development of the larva from the barber pole worm. So when it's excreted from the goat and that pellet hits the ground and that larva starts to mature, I think it's about day 6 actually that it really starts to become infective if ingested. So I just like to stay on the safe side of that at 5 days. Nothing wrong with 7 if that works for you, but that's just what we do here. As far as resting that paddock, we don't like to be back on that same area for at least 45 days. A lot of people tell you 60 days if you can. That's why we're going to do multi-species grazing, so we can come back in behind cattle or behind with cattle and eat some of that grass down before it gets to a vegetative state. What's happening, Sven? The other reason that we rotate, another big reason, is plant regrowth. Again, season and circumstances are obviously going to apply here. It changes throughout the year. As a general rule, most plant regrowth is going to happen in that 3 to 5 day range. And we want to move the animals off the paddock and allow that plant to regrow, because at least the goats, and I know the sheep, they get a real sweet taste in that grass that's growing back up, that new growth, and they will go back and hit it. And then you're going to stunt that growth, and you're going to probably affect that plant's health overall. So that 3 to 5 day window also matches up on rotating for plant health as well as it does for parasite health. Disease obviously is another reason. We don't want our animals to spend too much time in any one space, because that's a definite way to spread diseases. So any permanent infrastructure you have, anything like that, I don't care how much you clean it, you're creating a vector for disease. So we like to move it along. And some of your diseases are zoonotic, meaning they can travel across species and even into humans. But our parasite load and all that, we typically don't have to worry about going from like the small ruminants into cattle. Now, a huge component of why we rotate is going to be the health of the soil. You do get a somewhat concentrated packet of urine and manure, as you can see right here. If my shadow can get out of the way and Sven can get out of the way here, this is where they bedded down, some of them, last night. So you get these concentrations of manure left here, and it's been our experience in the past that when you see those spots, those would just be the brightest green spots possible out here in the field. That manure obviously provides food for the whole soil ecosystem, and a lot of mineral deposits, because we supplement minerals. So you've got all that going right back into your soil system, which is where all these healthy animals are going to be built from, is from the soil. This isn't just dirt you're talking about. This is a living system of soil, both bacterial, fungal, all your worms, your insects, everything coming together to support healthy plant life, which in turn supports healthy animals. One of the things, as far as health of the soil too, you want to make sure that you're not exporting nutrients off your farm. If somebody's coming and cutting hay and taking that to their farm, they're getting all your nutrients. So, just keep that in mind. The last reason that I've got today to talk about as to why we rotate the animals is the production per acre. Compared to set stocking, where you just, you cut out a big field and you just keep the cattle there, is what you'll see a lot of times. You can grow and harvest just a lot more forage per acre. Therefore, you can grow more animals on it. It allows you to get higher stocking rates, which in turn means higher profit per acre. You know, obviously there's limits to that, and I would never suggest that you run it at full tilt. You know, that's why I said yesterday's video that, you know, even though we don't want to feed hay, we're always going to have some in reserve for those times that you have to. So while you can, it's a dance, it's a balance. Although you can run more animals at a higher stocking rate, you always have to be monitoring the conditions of disease and parasite load and all that too. And obviously plant health is, you know, is just a key component. Hope this video has been helpful to you. I'm going to go around, spend some time with these girls, and get back at it.